It was like, yeah, some of the combos I hit on Ziski was the first time I hit it in bracket.
Wow.
It's been such a recent thing. So this is a new man. And he was already top 5 in the UK, #1 in Scotland.
You see, that's the power. Like, he just found out that he's doing work. So being sponsored by a team just motivate him out of nowhere. That's incredible. That's dedication right there from Mazebeans. Hopefully he continues that mentality because I don't know. That's just wonderful. That's like finishing the story. I don't know. I'm really happy for Mazebeans if that's the story at the moment, right? But after Mazebeans and Gigglezz, we're going to see Kerbo and Wombat.
Yeah,
so
we got a lot of hot sets coming up for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm intrigued by this set because the one thing that I almost don't feel like Gigglezz has sometimes is discipline. He likes to run. He likes to hit you. He likes to hit you fast. He likes to hit you hard.
Because it looks good. It looks good.
Yeah, and I mean, you're playing Falcon, for goodness sake. You've got to be able to do that. But Steve is that character that forces you to have that element of discipline. Of course, you've got the explosive nature of Falcon in general, but Mazebeans is going to make you work for any and every single hit. And we've seen it already, this 58% combo just teching off of the block. And here we go. We're going to get anything more? Not quite. 95% already on the board, and Mazebeans just being ready. Gigglezz with a very, very clutch tech. I have to ask, however, the tricks and traps are already beginning to come out, but a lovely little Raptor boost just to, I think it's Falcon dive actually, but even so, whatever it's called, it's working well, let me tell you.
Sometimes I forget how strong Steve is. The first interaction, that did not kill. But that first interaction was a 15% of damage with wooden pickaxe. So that's how good Steve is. And as you said, Gigglezz needs to be more patient because at the same time Steve has walls, has technically a sword. So that's a lot of work, a lot of patience you got to develop against this matchup. Hopefully trying to find that kill, does not find it. Another down air, looking for that upper 120%. Looks for that back air. We have gold in store and we have iron in store. So we have a gold sword and gold pickaxe.
My brother is relentless. I love the fact that we were saying about how Gigglezz has got to be patient, and the moment he was off the Angel platform, he jumped straight over. He was down airing and back airing, and it worked eventually. Slip time is the charm. But in the same vein, it's just, again, you haven't quite got that lead and not quite managing to get the knee, but lovely coverage there with the back air, and this is dead even between these two. And I think that aggressive playstyle is something that we're really going to see happen in the meter below, because it's only in these moments where you can actually take a breath that you can get your resources back. There was a point where Gigglezz didn't quite have it was rushing down Mazebeans, and look at all these resources that Mazebeans doesn't have because of how fast he's going.
The rush down is good. Oh, that does not kill. Okay, but the rush down is really good, but sometimes, let's say they got the resources, so you got to tone it down, go back, try to find open spaces, try to make him waste his resources slowly but surely. But now Gigglezz takes that stock, 69% on Gigglezz, now 84. That fair from that pickaxe. Stone pickaxe, by the way, a lot of damage. Trying to find those jabs, can't find it. Oof, oof, that anvil almost hitting.
I was going to say, there was sort of a clutch moment there by Gigglezz just electing to just, hang on, we got a bit of a jab block. However, didn't quite get the fastball down air off a bit of Mazebeans, getting a get-up attack into a conversion, and once again using the upbeat to just avoid the situation completely, but sort of Falcon kicking it into Mazebeans' loving arms. However, it's what he does, brother. It's what he does. You let him take an inch, and he's taken the whole damn track. The Satnav doesn't know what's going on because he's taken so much distance. Gigglezz with the first game.
That upbeat, I saw the vision. I saw the vision with that upbeat. Sadly, not working. So nice work from Gigglezz taking that first game. Although he was overly aggressive, oh my God, overly aggressive. He still got that win. So I'm wrong. We are wrong at the moment. Let's see if Gigglezz can try to continue that roll, or Mazebeans now tones it down a bit and try to find those overly aggressive options from Gigglezz. Small battlefield.
We're going to see, small battlefield is going to be the play. A much, much smaller stage to be able, it's going to play right into Gigglezz' hands, but if Mazebeans has got the motivation to go for that, nearly had the 0 to death all the way off the side, not quite being able to catch the drift on the Raptor boost So we are going to see,
Ooh.
oh my goodness, Gigglezz trying to get the fastball up air through it as well. And there we go, the up airs into the knee. Not quite going to be enough just yet, but again, Gigglezz evening it up in the blink of an eye.
By the way, quick update, Siski against Kendrick Olimar is tied at the moment, so that's going to be a pretty good set. But we're going right back here. Ay, caramba, that up smash almost scooping up and getting that kill, although 117, oh my god, that dynamite, that TNT would be doing some damage. So, forward throw, 103, trying to destroy that crafting table, so a lot of resources being done. Simple, that jab is going to take that first stock from Mazebeans. Still a very good lead from Gigglezz.
It's so difficult because Mazebeans can't even get the stone going or even get an opportunity to get diamond, which again has been established so much as a really crucial part of the matchup. But when you've got this sort of relentless Captain Falcon just running at you and running at you and running at you, you don't have the opportunity to mine, and the biggest resource to you, you've still got those conversions, don't get it twisted, but in the same vein, that big tool that you normally have just isn't there anymore.
Wow, look at that resource. Nothing in particular, no resources. Hasn't had the chance to get that iron, which look at that, wood and stone! Oh, wow, that was beautiful.
I was going to say, that was almost a perfect percent, just 2 or 3% more, and that could have been the end of it. However, we can just see both these players just weaving around each other's shield, and that is the up B's out of shield. Oh, never mind. Just waiting, reacting, up smashing, so good from Mazebeans. And finally, I think that's the first diamond I've seen all set so far.
Oh, yeah, it really is. So, finally, diamond in hand. Finally, a breath of fresh air from Mazebeans, getting those uppers real quick. And okay, those spike, that was scary right there from Mazebeans.
Can't help but feel like Mazebeans maybe still got to kill there. Maybe going for a footstool, but you've given Gigglezz a moment. You've given him some rage, and you've given him a second chance on your final stock. The diamond is now available, and you've got to be so careful. Those forward smashes are coming out. It's looking like 2022, but if it don't work, just keep going for it. And yeah, can't take that.
Yeah, no, oh my god. Oh, well, that's the second game, but you have a tied game. So, again, we're going to see a very good game from these two players, Gigglezz. Overly committing too much, for my opinion. Like, same as game one. This time, Mazebeans took advantage of that situation. Although, I really like that aggressiveness because resource-wise, Mazebeans is not adapting. However, he does adapt with neutral. So, I think he's got it.
It's an interesting one as well because that smaller stage meant that they could scrap that little bit more. And it also means that Gigglezz hasn't got the room to just run around and just really get sort of away from Mazebeans. And that's something that we've seen a little bit where Gigglezz has been doing a really good job. These up Bs out of shield and these moments where he's trying to recover, he can just get away from Steve. And the aerial drift that Falcon has got just really messes with the lack of aerial mobility from Steve. However, it doesn't matter when you're jumping into up smashes like that 50% here on Mazebeans, and now we're going to see what kind of early percent combo he's cooking. We call it the Steve tax over here, and Mazebeans' bank account looking a little bit empty at the moment.
I'm not going to lie, but that was some good spacing for that up smash, taking that first stock. So right now, Mazebeans is just taking control of this match. 81% on Gigglezz, overextending that crafting table, helping a bit on Gigglezz, but will it start working? Oh my god, that read!
You're nuts with that tech chase.
Oh
you are nuts with that tech chase. Just being a little bit too far. The up tilt just being avoided. And we're just going to see Gigglezz at 145%. Mazebeans has taken maybe 2 or 3 hits. And is the up throw going to be enough? Not quite.
Okay. So we're close. 171 though. That's a lot of extra percentage that Mazebeans has done still on that third stock. So this time, Gigglezz is just going a bit to the back, understanding that aggressiveness is not working. That upper would not be found. Thank you to that percentage. A bit too high, 175.
I think it's also as well that Mazebeans has just decided to slow the pace down an awful lot. He is not pushing his advantage any further than he needs to, and we've been seeing it a little bit where he's not necessarily gotten these like extremely long strings, but he's been getting these sort of 20-30% little bits and pieces, but then just disengaging completely, and he's done such a good job at just keeping that stock alive. No overextensions, no empty promises, just a 3-stock-to-1 lead.
You saw that trade, that upper, and that slide. They touch each other and they clash right there. So we got Diamond. Last stock on this third game. It could be over out of nowhere if Mazebeans finds a lead. Right now, a change right there. 10% on Gigglezz. Trying to like look for those jabs. Gets a punch though. 65. Ay, that up tilt almost hitting. Trying to find that knee. Does not find it. So Mazebeans returns back to the stage a bit more comfortable.
It's wild with Gigglezz as well because it's so obvious how many times he's gone for these frame traps, where if he hasn't got the first option down, he's got it ready for the second. If they air dodge the second, he's got the third one ready. And it's been so interesting to see a tried and true down air just going to break that crafting table, means that no kind of building can take place. But of course, it is Steve with an up tilt and a dream at 108% here on Gigglezz, only 25%. However, we've seen what Gigglezz can do with a falling neutral air and a good set of conversions, and I love the idea. I love that idea, trying to land on the block right just to save himself. However, it not quite being up to snuff. Mazebeans with a second game underneath the belt and one more to continue. I believe this would be into a qualifier, so it's not quite for top 8 yet, but we're getting awfully close there, brother.
That's right. Whoever wins here will go against whoever loses of double AA. So that's going to be Siski and Kendrick Olimar. At the moment, 2-1. Siski is winning at the moment. Let me see how that game is right now. So it's 82% on the last stock for Kendrick Olimar, and second stock is clean from Siski. So it's looking quite tough.
Yeah, it's going to be an uphill struggle for Kendrick, and I'm sure Gigglezz is going to be feeling in the same boat, going against that sort of established top player, you know, the one that you want to upset. And after a very strong one game, you've had 2 games in a row, and there is no stopping Mazebeans. He is utterly relentless. And again, we're seeing that little bit more space on a stage like Callus, which is going to be in Gigglezz' favor, able to sort of weave around and use that movement to keep Mazebeans guessing. But of course, the downside of that means that your kills are going to come a little bit later.
I feel like the platforms to the side are going to help a lot on Mazebeans, because he could camp, he can make a wall and camp under those platforms. So I think it's a 50-50 for both players. Let's see how Gigglezz could try to take advantage of this stage. Right now, 141, 151 with wooden items. Mazebeans is controlling the match, having Stone right at his hands. Up B to do a bit of a percentage, and that whiff punish is going to cancel that stock right there.
That was pixel perfect spacing as well. I love the fact that Gigglezz has got that awareness to go for the back throw, not trying to go for a down throw or a forward throw to bounce off the blocks. It means that Mazebeans, no opportunity to second. Gigglezz can continue that advantage state. However, Mazebeans is back in business, and the taxman is calling. He was a little bit generous this time, maybe a bit of a tax rebate, but only 50-60% on the board, and your wallet is still feeling that little bit lighter.
All right, 128 right outside the stage. Very nice recovery, but with the jab, as you said, big stage, we're not going to kill just yet. So one more interaction could help, and that footstool to Anvil, just doing the work, just doing that work.
Yeah, we can see Gigglezz just trying to get anything started, showing these sort of 2 or 3 seconds of patience before he's just running straight back in. And I love that spot dodge. And yeah, Mazebeans just waiting, reacting, and finally having the spacing. It hadn't been something that he'd been punishing all too often, but has finally got to grips with the aerial drift and having that perfect punish ready. And once again, Gigglezz at the mercy of the up tilts. However, a back air, the trade is going to be somewhat worth it. You finally get that stock, but at 180%. Steve is living for so long. We need to see some of those early stocks that we have seen Gigglezz take time and time again, but with Diamond on deck and an entire 2-stock lead, it is looking pretty bleak for the Captain Falcon main at the moment.
I saw the vision with Carlos, but at the same time, it was mostly on Mazebeans' favor. We needed to have like an open space against Mazebeans to try to evade those platforms, which are working on Mazebeans' favor. Sadly, 137 last stock for Gigglezz. This is the end. This could be the end. A nice recovery. That wall jump, saving him one more time. Ay, caramba. Almost that anvil working.
I was terrified as that anvil was coming down. I felt like I was watching Looney Tunes, and the characters hadn't quite worked out yet that the anvil was coming straight for them, but Gigglezz being just a step ahead with that spot dodge. But yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Tried and true, just sailing across the stage and sailing into the blast zone. Mazebeans keeps his run alive, going into a top 8 qualifier with a 3-1 over Gigglezz.
That's right. I believe right there we're seeing Gigglezz leaving number 13 in this tournament. So still pretty good, placement here for Innovation 2024. Loved this whole set. Sadly, once more, our dear Gigglezz is going to leave this tournament. However, Mr. Mazebean is going to continue. So we're going to see which match we're going to have